Ikaros is one of the most famous drop towers in the world. This is a rare Intamin Skyjump, meaning the vehicle tilts 90 degrees at the top, forcing you to stare directly at the ground for the drop. But is this one of the world's best drop towers? Yes, but amazingly, it's not even my favorite drop tower, Grona Lund, and I'll explain why in this review. Grona Lund is one of the smallest amusement parks in the world. It has less than 10 acres of land, so this park loves building up. That's why you'll find so many drop towers here. The park opened Fritt Fall in 1998. This is a 26-story tall Intamin drop tower. This one is notable for having one side with stand-up, floorless, tilting vehicles. Then the park opened Catapultin in 2004. This is an 18-story tall SNS combo tower, meaning you get both a space shot and turbo drop in one single ride. And that launch is the big thing differentiating it from the other drop towers at this park. No other one shoots you up. Then in 2017, the park opened their third adult drop tower in Ikaros. This was the tallest of the three, standing 312 feet or 95 meters tall. This was the second Intamin Skyjump ever. The prototype was Falcon's Fury at Busch Gardens Tampa, which opened in 2014, but Ikaros had some changes from the original. Falcon's Fury had a single gondola. It was circular like the gyro drops, but was broken into 8 different sections. Ikaros has 2 separate gondolas on each side of the tower. These can operate independent of each other, so you may only see one in operation for staffing and/or maintenance reasons. And on that note, it is worth knowing that Ikaros seems far more reliable than Falcon's Fury. The latter has seemingly been closed more than has been open post-COVID. Ikaros also has the advantage of being newer and being at a park with an off-season. That probably helps as well. Falcon's Fury also uses a catch car like most drop towers. This hooks onto the vehicle and slowly hoists the carriage to the top. Once the gondolas are released, the catch car slowly lowers for the next cycle. Most drop towers use cables. Ikaros instead uses a unique chain lift to take you to the top. This ride doesn't really have any theming. It is loosely based on the Greek story where Ikaros flew too close to the sun, causing his wings to melt and for him to fall back down to the ground, so it's a really fitting name for a drop tower. Despite not having much theming, this ride's presentation is great. The ride has an awesome entrance sign. It has big letters and especially comes alive at night when illuminated. Then the queue line takes you upstairs, as the ride is built on a bridge above the midway. This was a brilliant use of space, as it didn't require the removal of any pre-existing rides. The tower looks pretty good too. I love how the queue gets right next to it. Then the ride is fascinating to watch. Seeing the reactions of riders as the gondola tilts forwards towards the ground is priceless, and it also has a nice rotating topper as well. This ride has never been more than a 1 cycle wait for me. That's even with it having pretty low capacity, although it is better capacity than the park's other drop towers. Each side holds just 8 riders. If it does have a line, it is included on the park's Jet Pass skip the line system, unlike the other 2 drop towers. You book a 10-minute window and bypass the outdoor switchbacks when your time is called. Single shots cost roughly 100 kroner or $9 US. If you buy a wristband online, the park gives you 2 complimentary jet passes. I don't know if these are offered if you buy your pass in person though. The restraints are similar to those on Falcon's Fury. You have an over-the-shoulder harness. The portion across your lap is pretty darn thick. Then you have a vest component that will be snug against your upper body. They're comfortable, but these restraints are less freeing than the other drop towers out there. But that is understandable given what this ride does. I've experienced both sides over the years. Each one gives a fantastic view for different reasons. One side faces the water. This side gives a better view of Stockholm. I think it's the more popular side with most people. The other side gives a better view of Grona Lund's rides, but you still have the city's buildings in the distance. You just don't see the water. Once checked, you climb up the tower. It takes 40 to 45 seconds to reach the top. It is tall on its own, but it feels especially tall because you stand above some of the park's other drop towers. It's particularly prominent on the side facing the water because you're staring directly down at Catapultin. At the top, the gondolas slowly rotate 90 degrees. It is a shocking reveal finding yourself staring at the ground. It is one of the scariest sights you can get on any attraction. You then pause for a few seconds and are released with no warning. I wish you were held at the top longer, but I understand why for capacity reasons. The drop feels similar to the one in Falcon's Fury. It doesn't offer a stomach drop sensation like conventional drop towers, nor does it have any airtime. Instead, you get this rushing sensation as you're plunging towards the ground. It's more akin to what it feels like when you're skydiving, complete with all the wind resistance. The reason the drop is thrilling is because of the visual. You see the pavement rapidly approaching. It's a visual you don't usually get on a drop tower because you're usually looking straight out in front of you. At the bottom, the gondola rapidly rotates 90 degrees so you're again facing outwards. Off-ride, this motion looks pretty abrupt and whiplash-inducing, but on-ride it feels fairly fluid. So, what would I rate Ikaros? I would give this drop tower a 9 out of 10. If you love Falcon's Fury, you will love Ikaros. The drop feels very similar to me. Falling while staring at the ground is such a unique sensation. I do wish the drop had more oomph though. That is the one con with this ride. That holds it back from my upper tier of drop towers. It just doesn't have the oomph of your traditional drop tower. But the visuals both during the descent and ascent are truly special and make this a fantastic drop tower. I think this tends to be the most popular drop tower at Grona Lund, but I actually prefer Fritt Fall, specifically Fritt Fall Tilt. You have a similarly great view as Ikaros, but the drop is far more intense. You drop like a rock in that one. You get a stomach drop sensation and nice floater airtime the whole way down. And if you ride on the tilt side, you are forced to stare at the ground. So the most unique element of Ikaros is sort of emulated on that ride. And I think the concept is even more terrifying because of the vehicles in Fritt Fall. You are far more exposed with the stand-up floorless vehicles. And the harnesses also give your body more freedom to float in the plunge. Compare that to Ikaros where you have a much snugger and bulkier harness. I think I'd ride Ikaros more if it was at any other park. It is still in the upper 10% of drop towers I've ridden, which is really good. It just so happens that Grona Lund has a better drop tower in Fritt Fall Tilt, literally a 1-minute walk away. So those are my thoughts on Ikaros at Grona Lund. What are your thoughts on this ride? How do you think it compares to the other drop towers out there? Both the ones at Grona Lund and the others at other parks? Let me know down in the comments. If you enjoyed this review, I would appreciate it if you gave this video a like, and you considered subscribing, because there'll be a lot more roller coaster and amusement park videos here at Canopy Coaster. Thanks for watching.